The best of San Diego, the best of everything in all of San Diego County.
The whole county? You gotta be kidding me.
The best things to see, to do, the best places to be, the best things to experience, all of that.
There's no way. Not all of that. That is just too much.
Okay, maybe not all of that. Let's face it, it would take weeks to talk about all the best of San Diego County. So we'll just hit some highlights. Let's start at the beach. What is the best beach around? Well, there are almost as many answers to that as there are beaches.
Pacific Beach. Mission Bay is nice.
I really don't get to the beach that much.
Jolla Shores.
Windansea.
Marine Street.
Coronado. Coronado. That's where I live. And it's the best beach there is. But don't send too many people over there.
One of the charms of the Coronado Beach is that it doesn't have too many people. It's a big beach, clean, pretty. Also a pretty long walk from the sidewalk to the ocean, but you get a big beach, you get a long walk. Is it the best beach in the county? Well, it's very nice. Let's just say it's undoubtedly the best beach on an island or a peninsula with a naval air station. A bit south in Imperial Beach, you get a 2-for-1 deal. There's the beach, not as crowded as many, with the pier, a nice view, and just across the street, a wildlife preserve, so you can surf and bird watch in one afternoon. There are a lot of birds in the preserve. Some of them even move occasionally, just not this one. Ah, these move. And you've heard of fish jumping out of the water? Well, they do that a lot here, probably because in a wildlife preserve, they know nobody's going to try and catch them. Farther north, there is Windansea Beach, brought to national attention by a Thomas Wolfe book. Locals know it as a great surfing beach, and there are those who like to fish there, too, trying to master the difficult art of fishing from the beach without getting your feet wet. And, of course, La Jolla Shores, a beautiful panorama of sand and surf. Makes me sound like a tour guide. This beach has the distinction on certain weekends of having probably more bodies per square inch than anywhere else in the county. Quite a contrast to Moonlight Beach in Encinitas, a small beach, a little jewel, really. The kind of place that inspires people to try things they might not normally do. You cannot catch a wave on a bicycle. But how do you know that for sure until you try? And let's not leave out Carlsbad State Beach, which has to be the best beach for finding those smooth rocks that the ocean shapes so nicely. You like smooth rocks? This is your spot. So these are some of the best beaches in the county. What is the best? Well, that's up to you. Of course, not all the bodies of water in San Diego are along the coast. There are a lot of beautiful lakes. One of the nicest is Lake Poway, snuggled in among the hills. The kind of place you could certainly go just to look, but a lot of people naturally go there to fish. Some fish from a dock, some from boats, some, like Glenn Ward, from the shore. Glenn, whose friends call him Chief Yellow Bucket, has been known to fish here 7 days a week.
Sometimes you don't catch anything. And sometimes you catch them. You know what happens? They don't take a picture of it.
Well, some fish are caught when the cameras are around, like this trout.
It's dinner.
And a nice dinner it'll make, too. Of course, sometimes dinner can be a little hard to hang on to.
Whoa.
Lake Poway also has a park, a playground, just a pretty place to fish or not to fish. And up where Carlsbad runs into Oceanside, there's the Buena Vista Lagoon, noteworthy as a place to see and feed the birds, ducks, pigeons, gulls. Problem is, they get fed a lot, so they're a little fussy, even downright rude. You'd think offering them a French fry was an insult or something. But if they don't want to eat, you can still watch them and eat the French fry yourself. If you somehow manage to see all these places in a day, you need a good spot to watch the sunset. Torrey Pines State Park is hard to beat. The sun setting through the trees over the ocean. You just have to move quickly because they lock the gates at sunset. Mount Helix offers a different perspective of the sun going down. It's a perspective that makes you stop and look. Really, there are an awful lot of good places to watch a sunset in San Diego, just as there are an awful lot of good places to spend your time before the sun goes down.
Balboa Park. Balboa Park.
Balboa, for sure.
Well, Balboa is the best park. Oh, that's fabulous.
There are little parks, nice ones, all over San Diego County, but ask most San Diegans what's their favorite park. Most of them say this place right here, Balboa Park.
I come from the east. We never had such parks.
There's just a certain special feeling to Balboa Park. Let's face it, it's a beautiful place. I've lived in this city for 18 years, and I really think I feel more like a San Diegan when I'm in Balboa Park than any place else. There have been a number of stories in the news lately about terrible things that have happened here. There are concerns about safety in the park. All that seems hard to believe as you look around at how beautiful it is, and no matter how often you come here, you can always see things you've never really noticed before or taken the time to appreciate. Something as masterful and as subtle as the faces on the buildings. But naturally, Balboa Park is not everyone's favorite.
Stanley Park? I've never really... Presidio.
Hey, 3 answers in one, but Presidio Park is worth noting. It doesn't have as many buildings as Balboa Park, as many attractions, as much activity, but there are not many prettier parks. It's the kind of place you go to relax, maybe to think, or just to look at the sky. Tai Chi Tuan fits right in at Kate Sessions Park in Pacific Beach. A lot of other things fit in, too.
It's a beautiful place in San Diego. You really get to see the whole city and the beach, and you really get to enjoy the area.
It's a good place to just lie down and observe nature, or ignore it. The view is nice, and it's a good place to fly kites. Naturally, some days the wind for kites is better than others. Torrey Pines State Park is a different kind of park. Not much grass or many buildings. You don't see many kites. But it is, for my money, the best place to hike in San Diego. It's not a difficult hike. There's no need to pack the axes or the ropes or 4 days' supply of food. It's just a walk, really. But what a walk. The ocean's right there, the trees, and the smells are wonderful. The salt air, the pine, the brush. And it's the best place to see this area's very own tree, the Torrey pine. The only drawback to this hike is that you go downhill first, so at the end of the day you have the unavoidable problem of having to hike up later when you're probably more tired. But it's a small price to pay. Up the coast is one of the best little spots for just walking and looking, the Oceanside Harbor, the kind of place that might best be described as quaint. Pretty little harbor, boats, shops that look like something out of New England.
I love the sea, I love the small shops, I like the small town atmosphere, and you meet nice people down here every day, from all over the country, from all over the world.
Dumpling loves the harbor too. Dumpling is Hilda's dog. They come here 3-4 times a week.
I've lived in Oceanside 10 years, and it's one of the main reasons, well, mostly the main reason I stay here.
Now, I know you've been waiting to find out about the best mailboxes in the county. Well, they're in Ramona. Specifically Hope Street, where you can see 68, count them, 68 mailboxes in a row. Big, small, in between, you name it. If you really like mailboxes, Hope Street is your idea of heaven. Also in Ramona, the best single mailbox on Airmail Drive, an airmail box. Not too practical, though. You'd have to be airborne to put a letter in it. Time for some scenery now. The best views in San Diego County. Now, let's face it, we are a picture postcard kind of place. Here's a nice postcard across the bay from Coronado. A few sailboats would be nice. Ah, there we have it. Perfect. La Jolla Cove, certainly one of the more photographed spots around. The beach, the rocks, the breakers. Tell me, Rand McNally, does Pittsburgh have anything like this? But for my money, the best view in the county is at the end of Point Loma, the Cabrillo Monument. If you had a friend who had never been to San Diego and wanted one picture that sort of captured the essence of the city, I think you might have to take that picture right here. As a panorama, an overall view, this is really pretty tough to beat. The sailboats so far away they almost look like toys in a big blue bathtub. The lighthouse, unquestionably the best lighthouse in San Diego. Visitors to San Diego are suitably impressed.
I think this has a more sweeping view of the city. And of course everything around it is just breathtaking.
Nothing quite like this in Pennsylvania.
Oh, heavens, no.
I love it. It's a wonderful view, and it's great. You don't know what you have here in California.
Oh, yes, Trudy. I think we know. The San Diego River is not usually thought of as one of our scenic or recreational highlights. Be a little tough to go fishing or boating right here by SeaWorld. But there is a road running by the river that's great for jogging and cycling. Of course, San Diegans can almost always find places to jog or cycle. One of the most popular and best spots to get the feet moving and the heart pumping is Mission Bay Park by the Information Center. There are trails for joggers. It's a pretty view of the bay, nice cool breeze, and plenty of company. And if you prefer, you can run on the sand. Gives you an opportunity for some fancy stops. The Mission Beach Boardwalk is another favorite spot for, well, you name it. You can jog, some jog more quickly than others, or you can ride your bike or roller skate. Roller skating is very popular. The trick is to avoid crashing into any of the numerous bodies that crowd the boardwalk. You get all kinds of people here, which makes it not only a good spot to exercise, but perhaps the ultimate place for the good old American sport of people watching. What do the people watchers see?
Derelicts.
Yeah, derelicts.
Now that's not fair.
Everybody you see on the boardwalk. This is the place to see people at the foot of Ventura.
Well, we're here. Here we are. We are people and we watch. We watch and they watch.
You can not only people watch, you can bird watch.
This is Mr. Bill.
There's not much formality here. Well, not much anyway. And even on a foggy morning, people come to the boardwalk to look at other people.
I haven't noticed yet. I'm just looking on the camera right now. Let me look back here. I don't see too many bikinis, but that's the main reason for coming here.
This is a great spot. For what? For everything, looking at women.
And of course, women can watch men.
It's a good place to flirt.
Good place to do a lot of things, which is probably why so many people turn up here. We spend so much time on the freeways of San Diego, it seemed logical to figure out the best freeway. Opinions vary.
805.
Where's that?
You go straight through to just about to anything, any place.
52.
Why is that?
Because you can go fast and there's not a lot of cars. It's really empty.
Don't let the highway patrol hear that.
I like Interstate 8.
Really? Man must not have seen the Interstate 8 so many of us know and love at rush hour.
There is no favorite freeway.
She must have spent plenty of time on Interstate 8.
Oh, 163 going through Balboa Park.
There we have it. It has been called, with justification, one of the most beautiful stretches of freeway in the country. Now, if you take it to work every day, if you curse the traffic and the curves, maybe you've never really taken the time to appreciate its beauty. Of course, if you're driving, maybe you should concentrate on the road and forget about the beauty, but it is there. Along these same lines, what's the best drive in the county? Not necessarily a drive you take to get anywhere, just a drive you take for the pleasure of being on the road, watching the scenery, what used to be called a Sunday drive. Well, obviously the coastline is great. The ocean is what attracted a lot of people to San Diego in the first place, and even if you've lived here for years, a drive near the sea with the blue of the water and the bite of salt in the air is very nice. But to me, the best drive in the county is Highway 79 to Julian. It gets you somewhere, sure, but getting there is a lot of the pleasure. Hard to believe you're only about 45 minutes from downtown. 45 minutes, and yet light years away. The road leads, among other places, to Lake Cuyamaca, what you might call tranquil, peaceful, serene. The kind of place where if you never got a nibble on your line all day, you probably wouldn't mind at all. Just being there is a pleasure. Well, we've been from one end of the county to the other, showing you the best of San Diego, and yet somehow it seems as if we have barely even scratched the surface. We haven't gotten to the flowers of Encinitas, the charms of Old Town, the beauty of the Embarcadero, the apples of Julian, the best places to sail or to go camping. I could go on and on. There's just too much that's good about our county to get it all in. And isn't that nice, that the best of San Diego isn't confined to just a couple of spots? The best is all around us.